Good morning, everybody. Let's go Dub coming to you live from beautiful San Marcos, Texas, with your Applause That podcast here in Conference Championship Week in year one. We've got the Stanford Cardinals coach, Big Mike, with us this morning. How are you doing, Big Mike?
Hey, doing wonderful, Larry. I appreciate the Stanford in general appreciates the time being on the show, my man.
So, how are you feeling about your game with Clemson? Let's just jump right into it. How are you feeling about your game?
Well, I will be honest. We have two losses, one versus Florida State, one versus Notre Dame, and they actually both were at home. But those opponents were faster. I just felt that the talent level was a little different. It's not the heart, but the talent level was a little different. And I'm sort of worried that Clemson is the same, but we're going to go out, give it our all.
They say that defense wins championships. Your defense is number 4 in the nation, only allowing 273.3 yards a game, and only allowing 38.2 rushing yards a game. I feel like that has to be a record. I feel like no defense has ever done that before. 38.2 yards a game. Take us through your defensive philosophy.
Yeah, well, it's all about my defensive coordinator. He came in, new coaching staff. He put an emphasis on group tackling wherever the ball is. Everybody runs to the ball, and that's pretty much what it is. There's no name. It's not the name on the back of the jersey. It's the name on the front. And all the coaches here, we preach that, and that's what it's all about. Group efforts. The next man. Watch your guy, play your gaps, play your zones, and that's what he preaches day in and day out.
All right, so Clemson's averaging 36.1 a game. Your defense is not giving up, but 21.8, which is best in your conference and also one of the best in the nation. Fourth in the nation in points per game. So we know it's going to be all about defense, and you're going to have to get it done. So who do you think is going to be the key to your victory on your team on defense in this game?
Well, here's a name for you. So he subs in often, but his name is Omar Staples. He's on the line. He's an edge rusher. I think he might be leading my team in sacks or second, but he doesn't have a lot of snaps. But I would say if he could come up with a sack, I think we'll win the game, honestly. I think games that he comes in and makes a difference, I think we tend to win those games. So definitely Staples, my two corners. Not a lot of picks, but a lot of deflections. So I think they have to play big two versus those Clemson receivers.
Leading your team in pass breakups is your quarterback Colin Wright with 13. He's also got 3 interceptions, which leads your team. He's got 52 tackles, one of the third leading tackler on your team, 2 tackles for loss. Great job there. Your strong safety, Scotty Edwards, 78 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. Also has 6 deflections. That guy is a monster against the run. Tell us about how you're going to utilize Scotty Edwards in the game against Clemson.
Oh, well, that's Scotty Too Hottie. That's what he's known as at Stanford. Scotty Too Hottie, baby. We put him everywhere. He blitzes. He drops back in coverage. He's a good leader. He's a senior captain for the team, and he's been a joy to coach all season. So I'm sure he'll get after it and do his thing.
So we know you've got a decent running attack there in Stanford, but you've got 3 running backs averaging over 4.6 yards a carry. Micah Ford, 4.8. Cole Tabb, 4.7. And Cedric Urban, 4.6. How are you going to utilize all these running backs in the game to dominate that Clemson defensive line?
Well, again, that the running back room here in Stanford, they know, it's a committee. Micah Ford gets the most carries, but the other 2 running backs, they step in, and play well. They're all a little different. One's a power back, one's a receiving back, and one's a speed back. So when you have that trio, get them all in, feed them all the rock.
So let's talk your wide receiver, senior C.J. Williams out of Mission Viejo, California. He's got 9 touchdowns on the year, 849 yards, 49 receptions. He averages 17.3 yards a catch, but he has 11 drops on the season. How do you get him to get focused for this game?
Yeah, I was going to say that he's a great kid. He's by far our best offensive weapon. But in big games, he's dropped passes. I mean, we've had, the Notre Dame game, he had 4 drops, alone. But he's ready. He worked hard. Good week of practice. He's still the number 1 guy. We believe in him, and we'll win or lose. He's going to be a factor in it for sure.
So here's an interesting fun fact about the ACC. C.J. Williams leads the nation, number 2 in the nation in drops. The drops is led by Duke Shamir Higgins, and behind your guy, C.J. Williams in 3rd place, also another Duke, the tight end Jeremiah Hasley. Those 3 from the ACC leading the country in drops on the season. But I know you'll have him ready, Coach, because that's what you do. You're going to need a big game from him, some big catches, and I hope that he can make those for you.
Appreciate it, Larry.
So, what do you believe your keys to success in this game are, other than your defense?
I think it's all about my freshman quarterback. I think it's, are you going to get 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, or are you going to get 130 yards, 2 picks? It all depends on him, I think. Even though he's not the focal point, he's definitely, he has the ball in his hands. So what type of game are you going to get from him? And I think if you see the latter, the 200 yards, the 2 touchdowns, Stanford's going to come out with a victory.
So Cade Klubnik only has 3 interceptions on the year with 32 touchdowns. What kind of pressure do you think you need to get on him to keep him from having a big game?
That's what I think. We're going to rotate guys in or out. We talked about him. Scotty Edwards going to be key. We have 4 to 5 guys that can get after the quarterback. Just mixing, stunts. You're going to see a lot of that in this game. Because they're bigger, they're faster, they're stronger. We're just going to go out and, like I said, group tackle and go from there. And it's worked all season, so why not one more game?
Yeah, and Klubnik is not known as a runner, but he actually is the 2nd leading rusher on the Clemson team with 389 yards, only averaging 2.4 yards a carry. He does have 5 rushing touchdowns, 3 20-plus yard runs on the season. He's not really known for breaking the pocket, but are you going to have to keep that in mind when you go into this game about his ability to take off and run with it?
Yeah, we took a look at that. Honestly, we think the difference in this game will be the running game. For them to take the victory, I think you'll see if Clemson rushes over 100 yards, I think that will be a tell sign that they had the better game, because we honestly think that our defensive backs can match up to the receivers. So we think it's going to be their O-line, the size difference, and their running game is a worry for us.
Yeah, their running back, Adam Randall, only has 761 rushing yards on the season, but averages 5.1 yards a carry. He has 7 rushing touchdowns and 9 20-plus yard runs, but he struggles to get over the 70-yard mark on the season, averaging only 69.2, but that's made up by Cade Klubnik's average of 32.4 yards a game. Hopefully you can go in there and shut down the run. Randall is also known to fumble. He has 3 fumbles on the season. And receiving-wise, they've only got 1 wide receiver that managed to get over 1,000 yards in Bryant Wesco Jr. TJ Moore only at 912, but Wesco Jr. is their big go-to wide receiver. You're going to have to find a way to shut him down. I know your corners can do it. How do you feel about your cornerbacks with that Bryant Wesco Jr. matchup?
We're confident. Colin Wright is, we feel one of the best defensive backs in the nation. Our interceptions are not high as a team, but they play smart. They play their zones well, and we're confident. We know it's going to be a tall task, but we believe that we can go in there and compete. I think every team in the ACC is felt that way. I mean, you look at the numbers. Wake Forest, amazing season, definitely deserved to be there. Duke has played hard. Virginia, the injuries that man had to overcome early in the year is crazy. So we think I think in years to come, you're going to see the bottom class of the ACC, so to speak, rise and take over the ACC.
We'd love to see it, Coach. And I got just a couple more questions for you. Defensively for Clemson, their leading tackler, middle linebacker, senior Wade Woodass from Tampa, Florida, leads the team with 71 tackles. He also has a tackle for loss and leads the team in interceptions at 5. He is a dominant force in the middle of the field. He also has 6 pass breakups. But then you drop down and you've got the will linebacker, Sammy Brown, 48 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 6 sacks. And then you've got the leading tackle for loss on the team in defensive tackle DeMonte Capehart, who also has 8.5 sacks. Are you going to have to attack the outside of the field with the strength that they have in defense in the middle of the field?
You know, it definitely looks that way. But I'll say this: whoever's opens, we're going to attempt to get them the rock. We're not going in there with just one. You know, all the field's open. Let's just put it that way. I'm not cutting off the field. I'm going to tell my quarterback, if you think he's open, get it in there. You know, we don't let them dictate what we're going to do. We dictate how we play. So we're taking that attitude in the game.
Coach, that's what true champions do. They dictate the game. They don't let it be dictated for them. We appreciate the time, Coach, and I just want to say that we believe in you and the Stanford Cardinals. Beat the hell out of Clemson.
Hey, let's go Cardinals. Texas State, I just want to say to their head coach, great win, great season. You know, it's been a fun year so far, and good luck to the rest of the conference championship games. Let's get it, fellas.
Thanks, Coach. We know you're going to give them hell.
All right, Larry. You guys take care.
All right. Thank you, sir. Until next time, this is your boy, Coach Dub, signing off.